This podcast is part of Another Happy Studios,
the home of podcasts with passion.
Hello and welcome once again to Talking Pictures Podcast. I'm your host David and join with me as always my co-host Brian. Brian, how are you today?
This one's gonna be a scream.
That's a good one, man. That's good. That's probably one of your best ones so far.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah. So before we get things going, Brian, I want to welcome everyone to Talking Pictures Podcast. We've new episodes every single Wednesday, and if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to us on your favorite podcasting app of choice. And if you haven't heard, I don't know how you couldn't have heard of it. Everyone's talking about it. It's front page news. We have a new podcast entitled Saturday Morning Cartoon Club. We just had an episode released there. It's the last Saturday of every month, so we just released Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, the movie. So if you enjoyed that movie when you were a kid, go listen to that. We have a right out fun time. At least one of us does anyway.
If you enjoyed it as a kid.
If you enjoyed it as a kid. If you didn't enjoy it as a kid, we'll see you next month for Ed, and Eddie, okay? But you are coming to this episode now. You are seeing the title Scream. 1996?
1996.
And I bet you're wondering to yourself, why aren't the guys doing Scream 7?
Because we're mostly a contemporary podcast.
Yeah, normally movies come out and we talk about the new release of the week. But we decided that we're not going to do Scream 7. And I just have a little bit of a statement to read out here. On the 23rd of November 2023, actress Melissa Barrera was fired for Scream 7 for calling out Israel for the genocide that they were committing and continue to commit to this day. One day later, Jenna Ortega chose to step away from the film. While not explicitly stated, this would indicate to many a sign of solidarity. The Gaza genocide is the ongoing, intentional and systematic destruction of the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip carried out by Israel. As of December 2025, at least 70,117 people in Gaza have been killed. The vast majority of the victims were civilians. The Scream franchise is one with a legacy of strong female characters standing up against those who would seek to abuse and kill people that they have deemed as undeserving of life. The production company Spyglass says Melissa Barrera was fired from Scream due to rhetoric that, quote, flagrantly crosses the line into hate speech, including false allegations of genocide and ethnic cleansing, unquote. What is happening in Gaza is genocide. Talking Pictures Podcast stands with Melissa Barrera, and we've chosen not to platform the newly released Scream 7. While we are only a small voice amongst the ocean of voices that are calling for an end to the war, we believe it is the right thing to do and know that Melissa Barrera is on the right side of history. Saoirse done Palestine.
Scream 7 was shit anyway.
So, yeah, we decided that in lieu of doing Scream 7, we're going to be talking about the original Scream, which, I don't know about you, is not a franchise that I have a long history with.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I grew up watching it.
Okay, we're completely different ends of the spectrum. I watched the Scream movies leading up to Scream 6.
Not even 5 when it was first reinvigorated in our day and age.
No, I only watched it because Scream 6 was coming out, which we did. It was one of the first episodes of this podcast. You can go back and listen to our original thoughts right the way back in the original feed.
Us talking about Scream 6 is the only Scream movie we've done, bar this of course, whereas the guys across the pond in Another Happy Pod have done every other Scream movie, bar 6. And I really hope they keep up that tradition.
Yeah, they come back, they do it as their Halloween special every year. So we said, you know what? Those guys have it all Halloween. Let's do it in March. Fuck it. But Scream 6 was the first film that I had seen in cinemas. So I went and I experienced the whole Scream franchise in kind of a marathon sitting. And what was good was I went into it, even though it's years and years old, it's older than we are, I didn't know who any of the killers were. I didn't know any of the plot or anything like that.
So I think we should be very strict with ourselves and just talk about the first movie.
Oh yeah, we're here to talk about Scream, the original Scream.
Yeah.
And, of course, spoiler warning, because we're not going to hold back on spoilers or anything like that.
It was fucking Billy Lewis, the boyfriend, and it was Stu Mocker, Shaggy Rogers.
Shaggy Rogers, no!
And the cameraman died.
Zoinks!
So, I can't... I think I recall watching this movie as a wee one. I can't remember thinking or what I thought upon the reveals or upon certain actions or even when certain deaths happened. Like, I can't remember thinking what went through my mind. Like,
when you say you were a wee one,
yeah,
like, what age are we talking here? Like, are you watching this like too young to be watching it, or are you watching it, 8, 9, 10?
6, 7.
Fuck off.
You asked me what age range.
6 or 7. Fuck, I hate this. I hate that meme so much. But you know what?
As much as I hate it,
I still do it every time. Yeah, every time I
yeah.
hear it, I'm like, ooh, 6, 7. Oh, hate it.
I hate it as well. But you know what? It's kind of just stuck with. And
I think it's, you know what?
it's also not a me thing to do as well.
No, you're definitely not a meme guy.
No.
And you know, when we were kids and we were running around saying YOLO, and then our parents started saying YOLO, and we were like, what are you doing? Like, that, you're too old for that. That's, I'm sure, what kids are like now with everyone saying 6, 7. But we're getting off the point.
Yeah, so I was quite young. I even remember we had one of those portable DVD players. Maybe we were watching Scream 2 on it, but like I remember thinking, yeah, I grew up with these movies because I had older siblings, I had older cousins, and I think I remember watching this movie, and after Sydney was being chased by Ghostface, and then all of a sudden, obvious demon-looking boyfriend with the typical bad boyfriend hairstyle comes up, and
it wasn't a bad boyfriend hairstyle, it was a bad boy.
Bad boy, right?
Hairstyle.
Okay. Emphasis.
There's a very clear difference. Yeah.
Of course. Billy Loomis is not a bad boy.
He is. He's a very naughty boy.
All right, we're getting down a bit of a lane where we don't want to. Let's recall it back.
Okay. Let's go back. Serious.
All right. What was I thinking? Yes, I remember watching that scene, but it's not as if I was like, thinking about it. I didn't have the foresight. I was just a kid watching these movies, and I was watching the actions take place, and then okay, so he's not revealed to be the killer. Oh, but no, wait, he gets killed, and then wait, no, he's still alive, and then no way, he is the killer. I can't remember what I was thinking. I can't remember the shock I would have had. I can't remember thinking, oh my god, I called her. Oh my god, I'm so shocked. And then the Stu Macher reveal as well. I think I remember watching it. I just can't remember what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I do remember one thing, though. It was when Randy and Stu were running up to Sydney, and she had the gun at this point, and this was like probably the best scene to put on display that your protagonist, the hero, she can trust no one. All her friends, everyone's a suspect, and like it's Stu and Randy. They're both shouting at each other, and they're both saying he killed Billy, he killed this, and so they're pointing at each other, and they're both very frantic, and they're both pleading with Sydney. And yeah, like I thought that scene very much captured the kind of theme of what they were going with that you can't trust anyone. It could be the killer, could be the killer is someone, and it could be anyone, and it could be these two guys. And I just remember.
Well, I don't know.
Don't interrupt me.
Go on.
I'm sorry. I'm getting to the point of what I was trying to say.
Sometimes you take so long to get to it that I'm like
trying to express myself.
Yeah, go for it.
Don't interrupt me again. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, but
go on.
What I'm trying to say is, I remember that scene. I feel like that's the scene where there's a lot of people in this movie who could be the killer, and there's a lot of people who could be killed. Okay, I'm finished.
Okay. See, the movie does such a good job of expressing that it could be anyone. Now, in that particular scene, I would argue with you that it couldn't be Randy because we had seen Ghostface behind Randy. Now, this is before it's revealed to us that there are 2 Ghostfaces.
Yeah, I suppose.
So it's more than likely Stu. But it does kind of that whole scene where Sydney is unsure of who it is. It kind of does reflect us as an audience where we still don't know who it is.
Yeah,
because it's and there's almost a kind of thing where I'm sure back in the day, like, is there a possibility that we won't find out who it is? There's no guarantee.
Dude.
There's no guarantee that we will find out who the killer is.
I remember that being a bit of a trope in some movies, and that's just a no-no. No, don't do that. That's kind of shit. And they don't reveal who the killer is because that's not the message of the movie.
Yeah.
The message of the movie is beyond that, and it doesn't matter who the killer is. The point is fuck you. No, you have to reveal who the killer is. Yeah. It's a whodunit. It's probably... Scream films are some of my favourite whodunit.
Yeah, I think it's hard pressed to think about other whodunits other than the Knives Out trilogy. Yeah, and Scream as well.
Yeah, and I don't particularly like the Knives Out films. Like, I like them, but I don't love them.
But I think that it's a lot more fun to try and figure out who the Ghostface is in Scream than it is in the Knives Out
Do
trilogy.
you think it's more popular now in Scream as opposed to back then? Do you think it's always someone you know? Oh, it's always one of your friends. Or the killer could be anyone. Do you think that was popularized in 2022, or do you think it was always a thing here? Because think about this movie as well in 1996. This movie is not trying to prove anything.
No.
This movie has no responsibility. This movie is a satire unto himself and was created by an auteur visionary director.
Yeah, and it's someone who is steeped within the horror genre.
Yeah.
It's someone who has done this and now is coming back to do more.
Yeah.
It has, I don't know if it, I wouldn't say that it doesn't have anything to prove. I think it has something to prove in that, okay, why should we care about this one? Because we've seen all of these tropes before. And what it does is it uses those tropes to its advantage. We go, we're going to do the tropes. We're going to hit all these marks that you're so used to, but we're going to do it in a way that still feels fresh and new.
It acknowledges its satire. Like, they kind of break the fourth wall in such a way that it's not a parody.
Because you have something like Scary Movie, which is a straight up parody of this movie.
Yeah.
And you can have stuff like kind of fourth wall breaks that are not breaking the fourth wall.
Well, like one thing is when Sydney says, "Yeah, those horror movies are always stupid because the dumb girl there is doing the wrong thing by running up the stairs when she should be running out the front door." Well, look what happens. So, yeah, she tries to get out the front door, but she couldn't get out in time. It was locked. And what does she do? She does the one thing she said that the dumb girl does, very hypocritical of her, but she runs upstairs. So it's little things, and it's things that does not require dialogue. Obviously, she said it, but it's not as if she's...
It's not something you're actively thinking about, that she's going to go, hold on now, I said earlier the smart person would run out the door.
It's not as if she's being attacked by a ghost face and she's with another person and she says, quick, let's run up the stairs.
Yeah.
and then the one with the next row will say, wait a minute, didn't you just say... Like, they're not bringing up anything like that. It's silent acknowledgements.
Yeah.
Whereas now you have the twins in these newest Scream movies, the Randy and niece and nephew duo. They're always mentioning it. Do you know? They're always using dialogue.
They're the meta ones. Another example of kind of breaking the fourth wall that's not breaking the fourth wall is when Randy gives the rules of a horror film. And he talks about how one of the most important rules is don't have sex, and that's intercut with Sydney and Billy upstairs having sex. And it's like, anyone that has sex, you're safe if you're a virgin. And then Sydney and Billy have sex, and then immediately after, Billy is quote unquote killed. And it's kind of that immediate, like, okay, here's the rule is broken, and so here are the consequences of it. And then later on we find out that Randy, who is shot and we all think to be dead, is fine because he's the virgin, as he proclaims himself. He's like, I'm a virgin, so I'm okay. I survive it. So it's very clever in the fourth wall breaks that aren't directly Deadpool looking to the camera and going, "Can you believe this?" It's like, we're going to spell something out to the characters in the film. We're also spelling that out to you, the audience, and then we're either going to do that or subvert it.
Yeah,
you know.
And they're even talking about things like, you know, in my movie, this is how it's going to happen, and the daddy is he killed all the daughter's friends, and he killed her, and then he shot himself, and me and Stu are going to survive this, and we get away with this, and then all of a sudden Gail comes in, the reporter who should have been dead, and then she's not, and then Sydney saying, I like that ending. Like, it is on the nose, but it's grounded in such a way that you believe in the seriousness, even though it is a bit silly. It's self-reflective.
Yeah.
You know? It's looking at itself back in the mirror, and it's taking itself seriously. Scary Movie, for example, looks at itself in the mirror, and it takes the absolute piss of itself. Yeah. Do you know?
Like, I think that the movie, it has a lot of cartoonish characters in some of the ways.
Caricatures. Why did I struggle to say that? Characteristics of caricatures. You have the why am I struggling to speak?
I don't know, because you interrupted me and you told me not to interrupt you, and I was going down a completely different path.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, what I was just trying to say is that you have the hot girlfriend, the mean boyfriend of the hot girlfriend, who normally are dispatched earlier on in these movies, and then you have the reliable boyfriend, but he's also like the kind of bad boy type of boy, and then you have the nerd, but the nerd is actually just a horror movie geek, and then of course you have the virgin. They're all caricatures upon themselves.
Well, what I was going to say
Sorry,
was
David, what were you going to say?
that you have a lot of cartoonish characters in this. Some of the examples would be and some of them are kind of red herrings as well, like the principal. The principal, when the two lads are running through the school in their Ghostface outfits, and he's, giving out to them, like, he's, like, cartoonishly menacing to them. When he's, like, going at them with the scissors and all this.
I suppose I didn't realise that was a very sharp scissors, and that guy could possibly be arrested for...
He's quite over the top.
It is over the top. I never really thought that before until the boys across the pond acknowledged
They
that.
mentioned it.
Yeah.
And then someone like Dewey. Like, Dewey is just, like, cartoonishly a bad cop. And not a bad cop, as in not he's not a competent cop.
Yeah, he's someone you kind of would expect to see in a sitcom.
Yeah,
Like-
I would expect him to be in Scary Movie as opposed to in Scream.
Kind of is in Scary Movie.
Yeah, he's obviously lampooned in that, but like he's cartoon, like it feels cartoonish that he's like turning up to this party and he's like, when there's a curfew out, and like not arresting any of these kids for underage drinking. It's like, yeah, whatever, have a good time, all this stuff.
Dewey's definitely the type of guy who would have been bullied in school, and he goes to be a cop, and he's like been given a position of authority, and
But he also wants everyone to like him.
yeah, he does. So he's not like it's him who's reading out the Miranda rights to Billy when he's being arrested, whereas the rest of the cops are not doing that at all. Like one of the funniest scenes I really liked it in this movie, and it's kind of something I'd never paid attention to, is when Dewey's going up to the chief of police, and the chief's smoking, and Dewey's eating an ice cream, and every time the chief would smoke a cigarette, Dewey would take a lick out of his ice cream, and it's Dewey, who's 25 years of age, looking up to the chief of police, and he's like little brother, looking up to the the father. He's copying him, like
I wish I could be like that. Yeah, I wish I could smoke, but it hurts my lungs. Yeah, I'll just have an ice cream instead.
Yeah, but it's rather than your, I don't know, your father who's eating like a breakfast roll, which is filled to the brim with stuff. And 5-year-old Timmy there has sausage rolls, and anytime the father would take a bite of the roll, little Timmy would take a bite of the sausage roll in the exact same position.
And he's like, I'm just like Dad.
Yeah. I actually thought Dewey was going to drop the ice cream and step on it as well.
Yeah,
like
look down sad at it and let a single tear roll down his eye.
Yeah, but I would feel like he would fully step on it. But that's something you'd expect in a Scary Movie.
But kind of what I was getting at with the cartoonish things was that because some of the characters are cartoonish or they're exaggerated in certain ways.
Yeah.
And even some of the things that they talk about, there's so many of them that talk about horror movies as if it's like that's all they do. They only just talk about horror movies. That when you have those lines like later on, they kind of feel natural to the world that they have created at this point. Like by the end of the movie, it feels natural to have them talking about like even your one Tatum when she's like confronted by Ghostface and she's like, oh, I really want to make it to the sequel, and it's like it's a joke within the world. It's also a joke for us, the audience.
Yeah,
that
think of any other horror movie where characters, the best friend of the lead was killed and never made it to the sequel. But
they're referring to their lives as the sequel,
or
they're referring to their lives as a movie, which it is for us, the audience, but for them, technically, it's just their lives.
Yeah, but I guess it could also... I think now these late news movies are... I know we're not supposed to be comparing them, but like these newer movies are taking that element and making a metaphor out of it. Because yes, these are their lives, but it's also the sequel because it's a new location with a new Ghostface with new suspects. Like that's what Randy would have become had he survived down the line. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say. When this movie had no responsibility, this had no expectations to live up to, because it was all establishment. The whole Scream franchise hinges its livelihood based on what has taken place in this movie. 2 Ghostface killers, the rules, the survivors count even, and the fact that you'd have gruesome kills as well, and some victims who get killed are some who you're actually you're not happy to see get killed, because these people have to live their lives afterwards. Like, think about it. Dewey has to live his life going forward knowing that his little sister was killed.
Yeah.
That's not a nice thing to think of.
By one of her friends. By her boyfriend.
Or a boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's not a nice thing to think of when living your life down the line.
And that's something that is explored later on in the other movies, like Sydney dealing with PTSD and stuff like that. And that is something that obviously we're not going to talk about today, but you're right that this movie, it sets itself up. This movie walked so the rest of the franchise could run, in a way. Somewhat, yeah. And speaking as well on kind of like the tropes and the metatextual and all that kind of stuff that the movie deals with and the franchise deals with. But what I think the movie, it does so well is that as soon as you start suspecting people, the movie then starts to suspect them as well. And it kind of feeds into that. That thing that you have going on is like, okay, I kind of feel as though it might be Billy. And then they give the whole thing where the phone drops and it's like, what are you doing with a cell phone? Like, how crazy is it? And
a cellular phone.
Cellular phone.
That's another thing I never would have copped to think about had it not been for the boys. Can you guess what I'm going to recommend at the end of this podcast? Yeah. But like the guys, Nathan Lawrence, it's one of the best discussions, I think, and bringing up things that I never thought I would have brought up. But yeah, oh my God, what are you doing with a cell phone?
Yeah, it's like, it's a real sign of the times, isn't it? You know?
It's like, you have a cell phone, you must be the killer.
Yeah. But then even with the principal as well, he has that scene where he's giving out to the boys with the scissors. Yeah. And it's like very menacing as well. And then it's like, oh, hold on, maybe something here. And then, no, we're going to kill actually this principal here who feels as though he is a side character. And it's like...
He's in 3 scenes.
Yeah, and then, okay, this isn't exclusive to the people that we're affecting, like the people that we're following. There's going to be random people here that are also killed. Like, you think about it as well. This movie opens with a fantastic scene. First of all, I want to get that out of the way. Say that it's one of the best openings to a horror movie. Full stop.
I do want to segregate sometimes. And talk about that.
Yeah, and we will. But the fact that they just kill Drew Barrymore and her boyfriend, and are we given a reason as to why? I don't remember if we're given an exact reason, but it's like we're just gonna kill people. There's no exact reason, I don't think.
Yeah, I suppose. I watched an interview recently where they'd ask, so who killed Drew Barrymore's character?
Yeah, which Ghostface was it?
Yeah, and Matthew Lillard said, I don't think we ever discussed that. It was always Ghostface. And maybe Wes Craven, God rest his soul. Because the next person after him is Kevin Williamson. Because he wrote some of these movies. He wrote the original and a few others.
Well, that's not something that I think about. I never think about which Ghostface is it.
I never think about it as well. Every time I see Ghostface, we've probably said this in Scream 6 discussion, but every time I am watching Ghostface on screen, Ghostface is the killer. He is the mysterious figure. When I'm watching Scream 5, I'm never thinking that is the 5-foot Oscar winner from
Mickey Madison. Yeah,
I'm never thinking that.
Yeah.
When I'm watching Scream 2, I'm never thinking that's Timothy.
You man, stop! You're spoiling all the other Scream. We said we were going to only spoil the first one. You're spoiling all the killers.
Are you for real?
You know what? It's funny because we are thinking who is Ghostface, but not
who is Ghostface.
Who is Ghostface?
We're thinking about
who is Ghostface, not which Ghostface is it. Because more often than not, it's more than one Ghostface.
More often than not now. Like, I think at some point they'll have to make it so that there is only one Ghostface killer.
I think they did that in the third one.
And that's it.
Yeah.
No others. I think to respice things up, they should do that at some point.
Yeah.
But
you have a great idea for something. You said it earlier. I was like, that's a great idea.
And you know what? We said it off screen and we're off recording and we're not going to reveal it.
Oh, if you want more, you got to come back for when we reveal it in the middle of a random episode.
I don't know. Maybe we can talk about it at the end, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But every time I'm watching these movies, I'm never thinking, you're this person because I've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
And I know you're this person here because the other killer,
the other person is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never thinking that. I'm always thinking it's Ghostface the killer.
Yeah.
It's, if you take off the mask, it's just a monster. It's a demon. It's
Yeah.
It's a whatever. It's a supernatural. It doesn't matter.
It's like you can't if you took off the mask in the middle of the movie, there'd be no face under there. Like the reveal has to happen at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. It can't work like that. Unless I want to spice things up. But it's like Ghostface when he's in the costume, complemented by Roger L. Jackson's voice.
Oh, his voice is so iconic. It's so good.
Very iconic.
Do you know who else he plays?
I don't.
Would you like to know?
I would.
He voices Mojo Jojo in Powerpuff Girls.
Really?
Yeah. Which, I'm going to tease it. We're going to be doing that on Saturday Morning Cartoon Club sometime this year.
Stay tuned.
So stay tuned for that. But I think he's just got an iconic voice. It's fantastic.
And every time we do see him pop up, it's Ghostface. So Ghostface can be as powerful as the person they're getting into a conflict with. Also as clumsy.
I do love a clumsy Ghostface, I gotta say.
As clumsy as the next person with dyspraxia.
Yeah. It's like, okay, what does this Ghostface need for this scene? Like, is he going to be the most competent killer in the world?
Yeah.
Or can he not keep a hold of the knife? Is he going to be tumbling around and stumbling around and absolutely thrown around the place? Like, I think that I do like the fact that I like my Ghostface a bit clumsy.
Well, you'd have to be athletic to be a competent physical imposing
Also,
killer.
These are just like throughout the whole series. It's just people. It's just like a random person.
Oh yeah, it's not. Oh, like in the other movies, it's Jason Voorhees is back again. Oh, Freddy Krueger's back again.
Michael Myers back again. Yeah, and they're like unstoppable killing machines. Whereas this Ghostface is getting like fucking thrown around the place and like doors slamming in his face. But you never see Ghostface getting hit with a door and then he like collapses onto the floor and is holding his head for 5 minutes because he's been absolutely throttled by a door. It's like they're like almost immune to pain.
Yeah,
but they're not immune to the physicality, the effects of it. It's like if a door slams and hits you in the head, you're going to be hit backwards.
Yeah,
but the pain is not there. The pain is something that they deal with off screen.
It's almost as if every time you stab Ghostface or you shoot them, he's not going to bleed.
No.
Because it's Ghostface. It's not the person underneath the mask. And anytime you stab or shoot the killer who was Ghostface, when they're looking like a normal person, when it's revealed, they do bleed.
Yeah.
And they are.
Because ghosts...
And they're no longer immune to pain.
because Ghostface, the costume, doesn't have blood on it. It's a black costume with sparkles and the mask. That's it.
That is one of my favourite elements about Ghostface.
The fact that it's such a simple design, simple costume.
Anytime we see... of course, it's very simple. I do like a bit of extra detail, like a bit of wear and tear sometimes. I think Scream 6 had a bit of that, and I like that. But, anytime Ghostface is on screen, it's always the same Ghostface.
Yeah.
Consistent with every other movie. As if this Ghostface in this new movie knows everything they did any other time they popped up in any other movie, because it's the same Ghostface.
I do like that as the movies progress, anytime that Ghostface calls Sydney, they always act as though it's the same person.
Yeah.
It's like, I've taken on the role of Ghostface and I'm going to talk to you as if I was just disabled for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And now here I am again. And it's like, I'm taking on this persona entirely. And I have all the memories of previous Ghostfaces.
And that's complemented by Roger L. Jackson's consistency to return to play the character.
100%.
Not so much of a thing in this movie, because this is just the one movie we're talking about, but it does show our appreciation for the Scream franchise.
Yeah.
For someone who's followed it all their lives, and for someone who's only been watching it in the last few years, which is great. But yes, the Ghostface, very much iconic and very young and vibrant in its prime, especially for the opening scene.
Do you want to talk specifically about the opening scene?
That's a perfect segue, David. I'm glad you acknowledged it.
I have to say, absolutely diabolical for the Scream movie poster to include Drew Barrymore.
Include, or like pretty much encompass the entirety of it. The UK Irish DVD posters for Scream was just Drew Barrymore covering her face.
Is that not Sydney?
No, it's Drew Barrymore.
Are you sure?
I'm convinced it's Drew Barrymore.
I think it's Sydney.
I think it's Drew Barrymore.
Well, if it is, then absolutely, it makes more sense if that is her. That's fine. But any of the posters where it's that face and then all of the characters underneath it, and Drew Barrymore is front and center.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, Drew Barrymore, people know. We know her name. we know her as
she was well known at the time. Apparently,
yeah, and
apparently she was originally casted as Sydney, or am I misremembering that?
I couldn't tell you.
I think she was originally casted as Sydney and couldn't do it in the end, but was still able to stay on the movie to deliver a fine performance. Like this is.
I'm almost certain that that they were going to lose. Maybe I'm mixing up this story. I feel as though was it something that they were going to lose funding or something like that, and they showed executives just this scene, and they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, keep going." I might be conflating that with something else. This looks like Sydney to me. This poster.
Show me. That's Drew Barrymore.
I think that's Sydney.
That's Drew Barrymore. Look at her eyes. It's too big. Her eyes are very big.
Yeah, you're right. I just looked at it properly, and it's Drew Barrymore. So absolutely diabolical for them to use so much Drew Barrymore for someone that's not in the movie very often.
I think it's a great idea. I think
it is. Listen,
it's a fantastic idea.
If you are going to make a movie in the 90s and you have one actress that can commit to a day shoot, and the rest of your cast are complete unknowns, of course you're going to put Drew Barrymore front and center. Of course you are. It's like, come to this new Drew Barrymore horror film, and then you kill her within the first scene, and everyone's like, "What? I thought that she was the star of it." And it's like, no. And now we're gonna now you're gonna watch the rest of this movie
and a smash hard cut to this unknown actress.
It would have been like if in later movies, if that had happened to Jenna Ortega, if she was just you guys know Jenna Ortega, right? Come on and watch the new Jenna Ortega movie, and then killed, and then just the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
but they didn't do that.
Oh, they didn't. It's funny you mentioned that, but 1996 did not really have the internet for fans and audience to avail of to scour and scope, and I don't think trailers were reviewed, viewed, and documented to Kingdom Come in anticipation for a Scream movie, because the interwebs and YouTubes were not really functional at the time.
Yeah, but I mean, she is if we look at this poster here, she is there in the credits. In the front, we got David Arquette, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, Matthew Lillard, Rose McGowan, Skeet Ulrich, and Drew Barrymore.
Oh man, 1996 were caveman times. I don't think anyone's going to pay attention to the "and" in the credits. No, back then.
No, but but she's there. She's the main character on the poster, and she's in the credits for it. Like in an age where yes, the internet is not like it is today.
Yeah,
movie posters and trailers are what's going on.
Yeah,
I'm sure if we looked up the 1996 original trailer, Drew Barrymore would be all over that.
I don't know if she'd be all over, but I think she would be featured prominent on it. Mm-hmm. But it's
well, she couldn't be all over it because she's only in the one scene.
Yeah, but in the same costume as well.
I'd say that scene is heavy within the trailer.
Yeah, I would reckon as well. And a lot of it would not feature so much her. It would feature like surrounding elements, whether it be obscure shots or Ghostface himself. You know. Yeah, it's funny. Like, no one in 1996 was going to go into the cinema knowing, okay, so I watched this trailer on repeats because I taped it every time they played the commercials on the biggest, most popular watched TV channels. And I reviewed this trailer every time they play it, and any time I watched it, I was trying to analyse the amount of presence one character to the next would have in the movie.
Yeah.
No one was doing that because it's not a readily available thing to do today.
Yeah. It used to be that if you wanted to go watch the trailer, you had to go to the cinema and hope it played.
Whereas if I want to know what's happening in the next Scream movie, I could watch that trailer so many times, and I could overanalyze who is who in which scene. Mm-hmm. Who is who likely getting killed in said scene, and how much presence do they have in this movie, and I'm able to overanalyze, and I can tell, and I show that someone is about to die in the scene. Okay, great, I know this person's going to die in this scene. I know this person's not going to make it to this third act because they're in this costume.
They're in this costume, exactly that.
You know what I mean? So like, there you go. No one's doing that in 1996 because they don't have the access to the internet, and so therefore, no one could guess that Drew Barrymore was going to get killed in the first 15 minutes. What a performance. I really think if she was in this movie longer, she would have outshone Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard, really?
I think Matthew Lillard...
he's the star for you.
I think he gives the best performance in this movie.
You know who I think gives the best performance? It's Courtney Cox. And I've only one reason as to why.
Why?
Because it's so different from Monica from Friends. Because she's so well known Like, when you think about the Friends cast,
When did that come out?
1994.
Oh shit!
So she was 2 years into being Monica from Friends.
That was a get.
Yeah, it is a get. And, like, when you think of Jennifer Aniston, most people do think Rachel. Most people think when they see Matt LeBlanc, oh, that's Joey. And that's, I think, unfortunately, the case with Monica as well, is that when you see Courtney Cox, you think Monica. So, what she does so well with Gail Weathers is plays completely against Monica.
Oh, she just plays a bitch.
Self-proclaimed, Courtney Cox said herself, Gail Weathers is a bitch. And there's so many great scenes with her that, like, when... And, you know, actually, that was something I couldn't think of earlier. I lost my train of thought. Is that the movie establishes it so well with a history that we haven't seen. That when Gail is introduced, her and Sydney already don't like each other. And we go, why is that? And it's because because Sydney's mother has been killed a year prior to this movie.
Yeah.
And the man that she identified as the killer, Gail doesn't think it is. And they have and she wrote a book on it, or she interviewed him or something like that. And there's a history there between these two characters who we're just meeting now on screen. And we will find out the context of their relationship later in the film and in subsequent sequels as well. As we deal with Sydney's mother. Like, Sydney's mother is kind of the through line through all of these movies.
You're right. For the trilogy, at least. A lot of balls to write Gail Weathers in such a way. And she is not a villain.
No.
She's not an antagonist of the people who would get her comeuppance by the Ghostface killer in the end. I think that is fantastic. Like, if you...
I love that she's a mainstay throughout the whole franchise.
I think... I wonder if this struck gold accidentally, or if it was kind of envisioned that this is the way. I don't want to make comparisons, but, like, Daryl Dixon. Accidental protagonist, leading man. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Not intentional at all, but just... wait, hold on a minute.
Yeah. Well,
look what we got here. Yeah, let's...
I just wonder, was that the foresight they had for Gail Weathers, or I wonder, did they strategically chose who they were going to survive in this movie and who was going to get killed? Or was it, sure, why not? Or, sure, we've got Monica, so we're not going to kill her. We're going to give... She closes the movie. She closes it. So, I don't know. Like, they give her great moments.
She kind of is the one to come in and save the day. Like, she's the one that distracts the two boys at the end. That allows
Sydney to escape.
Yeah.
It's an absolute great job. And you know what? The more I think about it, this movie has a lot of collection of characters. It really does.
Yeah. And I feel as though, as a franchise, I know obviously we're talking about the one movie, I feel like the franchise, it doesn't ever forget its characters. It collects them and it brings them along. And yes, we may lose some on the way.
Yeah.
But when we lose them, it's for the purpose of the plot. It's not like we're just going to kill people willy-nilly.
Well, they fucking try to bring back... Well, did they even bother trying bringing back Patrick Dempsey?
No, not yet. But that's the thing, is that I feel as though the franchise, anyone could come back at any time.
Yeah.
If they've not specifically been killed...
Yeah, they could come back.
They could come back.
But they should have got him back.
I like Patrick Dempsey. Yeah, I could see him back.
Yeah, well, like he can fill the his feet can fill the shoes that was previously worn by David Arquette as Dewey. We keep getting sidetracked. Let's talk about the opening.
The opening itself. You talk about it. You love it, so you talk about it.
I love it.
Well, we both love it. It's a fantastic introduction that we just have what appears to be the main character, but a character come on screen, is talking to this creepy voice over the phone, and initially doesn't start out as creepy. It's like a kind of a flirty, like, what's going on here?
I like how it starts off, oh, I'm sorry, I must have the wrong number, and then it's okay, it's fine, and then it called back again, oh, I just wanted to apologise, okay, it's okay, oh wait, hold on a second, I want to know who I'm talking to. It was that one line, he says, why do you want to know my name? Because I want to know who I'm looking at. And he says that without smash cut to their face, where it's a real like dolly zoom.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, no, it's done a nice natural wide shot.
Or even something that, like, he would say the line and we would see someone in the background all of a sudden move, someone you hadn't noticed, and then a figure kind of move out of the way when they turned around or something like that. It's like, we're not going for that not a cheap scare, but we're not going for that kind of a scare. This was kind of probably before the time of jump scares in the way that we know them now.
It's also using dialogue to create an environment, to create a surrounding...
An atmosphere,
a surrounding awareness that I want to know who I'm looking at. Who you're looking at. So that gets us thinking, who is this guy over the phone? And where is he? And then it gets to the point where he's obviously threatening her. And then she gets scared to the point where she's saying, my boyfriend's going to be here any minute now, and he plays football and he's going to kick your ass. So I'm just comparing it to Scary Movie at the moment, because in Scary Movie she says, yeah, my boyfriend's going to be here any minute and he's black and he'll kick your ass. What does the colour of his skin have to do with that?
That's Scary Movie, man. Is that there's no holds barred on Scary Movie.
They reveal it. He's not black. He's a
I
guy.
can't remember, to be honest.
He's a guy wearing drag.
He's a guy wearing drag, or is he in blackface?
Drag.
Okay, right, okay.
But he's not even wearing. He's not even drag. He's a very overtly flamboyant fucking guy.
Right, okay.
I'm sorry. That's a conversation.
Can you tell who is a fan of Scary Movie and who is someone who has not seen Scary Movie for close to 20 years?
I'll get him. I'll get him.
Yeah,
I'll get him.
Listen,
I'll
there's
get
a new
him
one
to
coming
chat.
out. I gotta watch the other 5.
No, you don't have to.
Okay, well.
No, just the first 2, maybe the third one if you're feeling
I think I've
interested.
seen the first one and the third and
You
fourth
didn't
one.
see the second one.
The second one, the one where they're in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one then.
Oh, man.
Let me use my strong hand. I know you love that bit.
Don't get me started.
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking about Screen.
Okay.
All right. I'll get to. We'll get talking about it. Maybe Scary Movie 6 will be shit, and then we'll talk about the first Scary Movie, like what we're doing here. But it's funny that you have Drew Barrymore. She's bringing up her boyfriend. Yeah, we'll get the man in here to save the damsel in distress. And then this. Oh no, I'm shaking. His name wouldn't be whatever his name was. Bradley, Bradson, and turn the porch lights on. And it's I just watch her face. Look how upset she's continuing to get, and she turns the lights, and then her boyfriend, she talks so high and mighty that he's an angel sent from heaven there to protect her, or her knight in shining armor, beaten, bloody, and taped and tied up to a chair. Like, that tape around his mouth looks to be so tight it's sore. And then she tries to go out and say, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I bet, yeah, she probably could have maybe saved him, and that would have kind of foiled his plan a little, because he wanted to still play the game. And asking a series of questions. These questions not really brought up until in the latter part of the franchise, I don't think.
That's kind of similar to how, or it kind of feeds to that point I was saying earlier about like all these people seem to be like horror obsessed. It's like, I'm gonna ask you 3 questions and it's like all horror based questions. It just seems so like
all the movie trivia.
Trivia, yeah. It's like everyone, like even Randy turning up at the party and it's like, okay, we're all having drinks, right? What horror movie are we gonna watch? And it's like, what? It's just so strange. It's like it's a world that is so entrenched in movies and tropes and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to a party where we watch a movie.
No.
Specifically a scary movie. It tends to be more of a comedy to be watched.
Yeah, something for background noise, but like...
Background noise, maybe. But she gets one question wrong, and yeah, like it's kind of a great tease. It's like Wes Craven does have a background in horror, so he does know his questions. It's as if he would have directed some of these movies. Well, he did in a way. He directed No, that's John Carpenter.
No, he did Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's it.
And he has the reference to it. We have the janitor and the Freddy Krueger mask. Also, Billy Loomis. Last name same as Dr. Loomis in Halloween. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's very good. I didn't recognize that, but yeah, I did know Wes Craven did dress up as Freddy Krueger. And he's, huh? What did you say to me? Not you, Fred. Wes Craven's great. I do like that. Like him and John Carpenter are like 2 seasoned veterans, and it's a real shame Wes Craven did die when he did. Like he wasn't that much older than John Carpenter, and he's been dead since.
I think just before the newest or Scream 5 came out.
He's not just before, a few years after Scream 4.
Was it? Okay,
I say
right.
it was closer to after the release of 4
than 5. Yeah.
Yes, okay. But it kills the boyfriend. Gutted like a fish, insides on the out, and then look, if you use a bonus round, I don't want to recite everything that happens, but this last question, like I said, creating an atmosphere. which door am I at? Mm-hmm. And as soon as she says, I can't do this anymore, suit yourself, and then starts smashing windows, and she runs away. Mm-hmm. And she sees a list of weapons on the ground: a gun, and a knife, a grenade, and a banana. Oh, sorry, no, I'm thinking of scary movies. Sorry. she grabs the banana.
As soon as you said banana, I was like, I wonder which one she takes. Yeah.
I like the kind of first on-screen appearance of Ghostface. He's like just a mysterious cloaked figure. Mm-hmm. This is the first introduction to.
We have no motive.
No,
we have no motive for him. It's just, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, but he kind of appears like from a distance, from her POV, mm-hmm. looking to the far distance of the other room, and he's like sneaking around, mm-hmm. and he's quick. It's like, what kind of mask, a costume is he wearing? Mm-hmm. This is the first time we're seeing something like this. Mm-hmm. We've no reference of what we expect for this costume, for mm-hmm. this Ghostface killer to look like. We all know what Freddy and Jason and Michael look like.
Yeah, it's very rare that we would get an extended sequence like this where we're hearing the killer and not seeing the killer. So, like, if you're going into this completely fresh with no idea of what Ghostface looks like, it's like, what are you imagining? What are you picturing as you hear this voice? Because also, it's a voice that we only hear on the phone. Like, when Ghostface is there, whenever we are introduced to Ghostface, whenever we have any sequence of Ghostface, silent killer.
Yeah.
Michael Myers. Does not say a word. Doesn't even like, like, you don't hear any actual like grunting or anything like that.
It adds to the power that Ghostface has when wearing the costume.
He's completely silent. It's like he's got duct tape over his mouth. And it's like, well, I can't reveal. If you hear a feminine voice, you know I'm a girl. And so you can eliminate all the men.
Even just like more when Ghostface reveals his face and you see the blood and wounds that Ghostface would have endured, because mm-hmm. when you don't have those wounds when you're in the mask, but mm-hmm. when you remove the mask, all the wounds are there. Mm-hmm. So if you were shot wearing the Ghostface costume, fine, doesn't bother him.
It's like you're immune until the mask comes off,
and then it looks like I'm about to die because mm-hmm. you're bleeding to death. Mm-hmm. But any time he chases up the Drew Barrymore, I'm thinking just close enough. Don't run. Don't stop. Mm-hmm. Don't startle. Run.
Yeah.
And she was.
And I always think that she's gonna tear her top off. Oh, that's Scary Movie. Sorry.
So you did watch it.
I have seen it. I just can't remember. It was years ago. I think it's Carmen Electra in that original in Scary Movie.
I can't remember.
I think it is.
She's sexy girl with big boobs, and
Carmen Electra.
And she knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so close to her parents, and then they just...
That's what's so horrible about it. It's like how close the scene is constantly.
How close you were to safety, and this fucking psychopath.
How close the film was to not happening. If the parents had been there, they could have caught him.
How close to the franchise not existing.
Yeah.
You know? That's a cool what if, isn't it? Let's do a what if on all these classic IPs and go create a what if this franchise didn't happen because of this particular moment. Mm-hmm. Doesn't that be something? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it? Rather than Jason Voorhees Strange, like the camp counselors weren't having sex and mm-hmm. they actually saved the boy.
I've actually not seen any of the Friday the 13th movies. I've not seen any of them.
They're not really that overtly
I think I've seen all of the Halloweens, no Friday the 13th, and then the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
I would consider watching Nightmare on Elm Street only just for Robert Englund, because he's great. Mm-hmm. And I would only recommend you watch Freddy vs. Jason. Because it's Freddy versus Jason.
I've heard Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is really good.
3?
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's one of those franchises that it's just like, I will watch, I haven't yet.
Number 3 is the one that actually introduces the hockey mask.
Oh, is that... Yeah.
Sorry, did you say Nightmare on Elm Street? Or
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Sorry, I was taking
Friday the 13th. Mixing up our franchises.
Jesus
well,
Christ.
Freddy and Jason do fight, so...
They do.
Yeah.
And then he goes to space at one point. Which
is not surprising. Is he in Fast and Furious as well?
No.
He will soon be.
I was young and I really liked the space one because go figure, he was in space.
Yeah.
Anywho.
And the way that scene ends as well, the opening scene with Drew Barrymore, the way that she's strung up in the tree with her intestines hanging out, and you're like, oh, this is gruesome. This is like, it doesn't feel like this is going to be a PG slasher movie. It's going to be, people are going to die and you're going to see them die.
Yeah. This is the little girl from E.T., isn't it?
Yeah. This is one of Charlie's Angels.
This is awful.
But it's really effective, and it really sets up the whole film as a whole.
Yeah, suppose.
Well, it sets up that Ghostface is not. He may be clumsy, but like he'll get the job done.
Yeah,
and like pretty much everyone he meets, he kills. Up until the end.
Yeah, up until the end. Yeah, him. I feel like the Henry Winkler was only in here as a favor for Wes Craven, and like very much could have filmed all the scenes in one day. I would expect a competent director like Wes Craven could accomplish that, and his death. I was about to say his death serves no consequence to the wider story, but I suppose it does warrant the rest of the party members to leave the house because his body was hanging over the football field, which they go to leave the party to take a look at their dead principal who was gutted horribly. As
there's no empathy whatsoever.
I honestly look at him as a sound enough principal. Yeah, he's strict and he's borderline like threatening where he ought to be arrested.
But he gives like an announcement on the thing. It's like, everyone, there's a curfew tonight. Go home. I love you. Stay safe. Like he's like quite a nice guy.
I think he was very fair to Cindy.
Yeah.
I said Cindy.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna gloss over it, but yeah, Sydney.
I said Sydney.
I heard what you said.
Yeah, but
and I was gonna gloss over it.
But her name is Sydney.
I know, yeah.
Because in Scary Movie it's Sydney. That was that was unintentional. I just fumbled my words, as you know.
That's all right. We could have glossed over it.
We could
still can if you want.
No,
he was quite nice.
He was quite nice. We're not cutting this out.
Okay. What was I going to say there? I was surprised watching it around this time that so much of it takes place at the party. I didn't realize. that, like,
more or less the
last hour.
Yeah, the last hour, because after the principal death,
it's all at the party.
Yeah, no one else dies really. Like,
well, Tatum dies in the garage.
Yeah, I know, and every time that scene happens, I just feel like, no, you're too innocent to die.
Yeah,
you could have fit out that little cat door. She could have.
Yeah, I'm sure she could have.
She absolutely fine, skinny little thing. Of course she could have. A little mini skirt. She was good, and I'm kind of surprised that she's a bit of a name now. Like, she was in this Charmed franchise, the TV show, kind of popular, has its fan base. You know, it's just funny. Who would you have kept that at times, you know? And every time she dies, I'm just thinking, her big brother, her big goofball of her brother could have been there to protect her. I don't know. It's just... I guess I don't like seeing family members in horror movies, because if one dies and the other one doesn't, I'm thinking... You're going to need counselling. You'll probably contemplate harming yourself because you couldn't forgive yourself down the line, and because you have to live your life. Just in this
I don't think of it that deeply, but I'm glad that you do. That someone is thinking of that.
I'm thinking of it.
It's a completely fair thing to think about. It's a completely fair thing to worry about. That you're right. Yeah, that this, like, not only is this character dead, but then this other character will be dealing with the consequences of that forever. Because it's like, it's one thing if your friend dies or whatever, you can kind of come to grips with it.
Yeah,
and you can move on.
You know, of course. Yeah.
But when it's a family member, if it's a sister, it's like you're taking that with you for the rest of your life. You're never forgetting that.
Yeah,
you know.
And you know, with the growing number of fake deaths, whether it be a knife in Stewie's back, a knife in Dewey's back, or bullet to the chest in Randy, or Gail crashing the van, and even Billy Loomis. Like, you watch that for the first viewing, you perceive that as
Billy
a death.
Technically gets 2, because he does get the stabbing by Stu or by Ghostface, and then later on when he's shot, and then Randy, when they're all standing above his body and they go,
I don't count that.
Still,
nah, it doesn't. I don't count it.
He's still alive.
Not at all. But yeah, like, I'm happy to see
the characters we're left with. I'm happy that we're left with.
Yeah,
I
think they were chosen very well. Like, have the comic relief survive, which is kind of a nice thing.
Who's also like, everyone is convinced it is him the entire time. It's like, oh, it's Randy. It's like they all are convinced it's him.
Well, were they? Because anytime
they're brought up a few times. Well, maybe it was Stu that was bringing it up.
Anytime I'm watching this movie, I'm just going, okay, I understand the red herrings and how it's so obvious. It's not obvious, but it is obvious. I'm just watching this movie on the basis alone that Billy Loomis and Stu Macher are borderline psychopath, just sitting with their friends on the fountain, chatting about gutting a human being.
That they
are definitely 100% the killers. They did it. It's too obvious. Even when Stu Macher is just being Stu, when Stu is being nice, he's still psychopathic looking and appearing. Billy's just very evil looking.
Yeah, he does give off that kind of vibe. And, you know, I think that it's something to say about Matthew Lillard is that he does look genuinely evil in some scenes, and he plays it off so evil. But yet then he can play such a lovable character in Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo movies. Like, he's able to, in the same way that I was saying there with Courtney Cox playing both Gail Weathers and Monica, that Matthew Lillard can also do that. He can do Stu Macher and he can do Shaggy Rogers.
Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. I could just keep fucking talking about how great I love Matthew Lillard. Like, he's not in much. He's not that well cast of an actor. I say cast.
I know. I'm really impressed. I was like, "Was he gonna say it?"
But I like seeing him in all these things, and anytime he's on screen here, I'm just thinking, yeah, you milk anytime you go to Comic-Con and do sign-ins.
He's a treat to see. I'm always happy to see him.
That's a great way to put it. He is a treat to see, and it's it's I don't know. We're going all over the place talking about characters, but like, I thought the pacing overall is very good. I thought the pacing, especially when we get to the party, like it was one by one people start to leave. You know, you hear off screen that Stu says, "I don't know. I guess she ditched me. She's still mad at me or something like that." No, you killed her.
And it's fun to go back and watch it again this time, knowing who the killers are and looking out for those little bits.
This is the first time for you.
Yeah, because the first time I watched it, you were
genuinely surprised.
But now after watching it and knowing who the killers are, now watching it again, I can watch it and look for those kind of little red herrings and know, oh, that's a red herring, but then look out for these little details that, oh, that actually does that. Exactly like that. It's like, oh, I don't know where she is. She must be gone. She must be mad at me.
Yeah.
No, you killed her. She's out the back there.
But just, how the hell did no one see her? But it just left her there like that. Once the party is nearly gone, like, Stu is kind of absent at that point, and Sydney and Billy are upstairs, and Billy gets dispatched. Randy is being Randy on the couch,
just watching Halloween,
watching Halloween, drunk, and like, that guy's never getting laid.
That's how he survives.
Yeah. And I like kind of like everyone's kind of scattered everywhere. We see Sydney escape from the house and she sees Tatum, she runs away. Dewey and Gail saw Sydney's father's car, and then they learn some information and they go running back. Get separated. Dewey goes inside and he's the only one with the gun, so he's our alpha A1 action hero.
And he's not. He by default slips into that role, but he's not fitted for that role.
Sydney and Gail are both more capable to defend
100%.
themselves, and Dewey's great, but like the fact that he's there and Gail's trying to figure out what's going on, and she kind of drives away, and Randy comes, hey, what's going on? She knocks him out with the phone. Like, everyone's kind of scattered, and then Gail crashes the car because she sees Sydney screaming for help.
And by having all of the characters separated and scattered like that, that really lends into the I don't know who is Ghostface. We still don't know who it is.
You're kind of at a loss at that point.
Yeah.
Now, if you really want to hard down and pay attention, you can notice that, Stu Macher's been absent quite a bit, you know, but like, that means you're trying too hard and you're not enjoying the movie for what it is. And I think in my latter years, as I enter retirement, that is the mindset I adapt to. I don't focus on the whodunit now so much anymore, or at least I try not to. It's an
element I like, but I don't try and figure it out. Like, I'm happy to have the movie presented to me, but I like kind of little speculations, but I'm not like trying to piece it all together, because I know it will be revealed to me, so like, why am I working so hard for that? I think that if this movie released, as in this movie Scream, if it released today, I think with the way that people talk about movies and the way that people analyze movies and the way that people like to complain. Let's get down to what I'm really trying to say here. People like to complain. People would complain that Sydney is too competent. That Sydney is too...
Mary Sue?
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, that's it. I was trying to look for the description. That she's a Mary Sue. That she is competent and she can fight and she can hold her own. And it kind of extends a little bit to Gail, I suppose, as well, because realistically, it's the women that save the day. It's Gail and it's Sydney Prescott.
What the fuck is a Mary Sue?
A Mary Sue is what people like to describe Rey as from Star Wars, that it's just a female character that has all these abilities that aren't explained and is able to do it. Essentially what a man is in every other film, but because it's a woman, that's the problem. But I'm just saying that I think that if, and I don't agree with this, I don't agree with the description of a Mary Sue at all, but I think that if Scream were to release now, that people would describe Sydney as a Mary Sue. But because this released back in 1996, she's not. She's a Scream Queen. And she is the final girl. And what people like about the final girl is that person continuing on and on and on, and they develop more and more.
Into a badass, essentially.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. You get the Sarah Connor from Terminator.
Yeah,
you know?
that's one good comparison, I suppose. Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is I really like the fact that it is Sydney and Gale that are the ones that dispatch Sue and Billy.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones that defeat.
Opposing adversaries who, in a lesser seasoned, lesser competent director, would paint Gale as the bad in a good bunch, and because of her actions she would like be close to abandoning Sydney to save herself, or
too selfish, yeah.
Or shove Sydney in front of Ghostface so she can get away, and then she opens the door to get away, and she gets stabbed by another Ghostface. It's just an example. Like, it's good that they make Gale likable because there is Ghostface, and I think making Gale a bit of a bitch sometimes complements her character. And every time we see her in any Scream movie, she's like, yeah, you are now one of the gang. We have the straight thinking protagonist. We have the bitch who can...
I would describe her as the lovable bitch.
The lovable bitch.
Like, the thing is that she is... You're right, that she is a bitch. She's a self-proclaimed bitch.
Yeah.
And even though she does join the team, I suppose, if you wanted to call it that by the end of the movie, she hasn't given up who she is as a character, because the movie ends with her getting the scoop. She's like, I have an eyewitness report, and she is doing the story.
But we're all happy for her, because she's one of the gang now.
Yeah, and later on, that adversarial relationship between Sydney and Gale, it's not gone, because the whole rest of this franchise is then a parody on, well, not a parody, but like it's a commentary on itself, because the Stab movies are an in-universe version of the events of Scream.
Yeah.
And who wrote the Stab books? Gale Weathers. You know, it's like she is continuously out for herself. She's looking out for herself the entire time. And that continues on through the franchise.
Yeah, Sydney and Gale are friends by default of their shared trauma. They're in any other...
They trauma bonded, 100%.
That's the only way to go about it. Well, like, there's even one bit in Scream 2, just to briefly mention it, where Sydney was about to be introduced to the partner of Ghostface, and out comes Gale, and Sydney's going, you fucking bitch, but Gale's going, no, and out comes the actual killer. And it's a great reveal or light suggestion, because one, it adds that extra element of somewhat distrust between the two characters, but two, it shows a diamond in the rough.
Diamond in the rough. This asshole, who we are ever more delighted to see because of all the bad and hardship and gruesome murders that are taking place in our surroundings. And when we can grab a hold of something we know, something we're familiar with, we are ever more delighted to see a familiar face. No matter how big of an asshole they'll ever be. So we have the straight thinker, we have the asshole, and we have the lovable goofball. And the version. It's a great collection of survivors in the end, and I like the way they even made it so that Dewey did survive, because they didn't have to do that. No,
like that was nicely done.
He could be he's the figure of authority that would die, like that could have fallen into that slot. You know, there's something that another franchise did that I wonder, could Scream do it, but to better effect.
What's that?
Spoilers for the newest I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. The fact that they turned one of their legacy characters into the bad guy. Could Scream do that?
There was always a theory that Dewey was an unhinged killer, and I think I remember my sister making a guess that, oh, don't tell me It's Dewey. Dewey's
See,
the killer.
If let's say with Scream 5, if it had been Dewey, I feel as though there's enough Scream movies and he's gone through enough that he went through Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4, that if by 5 he had snapped, I would have been like, that's justified. I feel like with the way that it was in the I Know What You Did Last Summer movie, not so much.
I don't know, David. It was just a bad fucking movie.
It was.
It was
pretty bad.
Very bad movie.
But I wonder, could they do that with Scream?
You can't now.
Not anymore.
Unless you want to do it with Patrick Dempsey's character.
But he's too far gone from the franchise. I don't think so. But it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Just executed poorly within the I Know What You Did Last Summer
I
franchise.
suppose they did kind of try to tease it with Kirby in Scream 6. I don't think we've ever really touched base on the actual reveal of...
I think it's a great reveal. I remember watching it the first time, obviously only 3 years ago, not knowing that there are two killers. And I think it is actually great because going back and watching it now and knowing, okay, this isn't a sequence. Billy Loomis is not being murdered in this sequence. You see, obviously, Ghostface stab him, but there's no blood on the knife. And then he wipes the knife and puts blood on it. And it's something that, in the moment, watching it the first time, it's not something you notice, or if you did notice it, it's like, oh, it's just a production error. It's just a mistake.
Yeah.
No, it's so intentional that the fact that you watch it the first time and your mind puts it down to, oh, that was just a mistake. No, fully intentional, we meant to do this. And then when he does arrive then at the top of the stairs, like, oh my god, Billy's still alive. It's plausible, that he could still be alive.
Magical turn of events, light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, and so you get this, he comes down the stairs, all this, lets the boys in, and it's this reveal, bam, and you're like, oh my god, Billy was the killer. And she runs away into Stu, and he's laughing, and you're like, is he in on it? And then he pulls out the thing, and it's like, it's just all these like moments of it all clicking together. It's like, of course it was two. Like, they couldn't have got away with it if there was only one of them. And I don't think any other franchise, and forgive me if I'm wrong, I don't think any other franchise does a double killer reveal.
In the one moment.
Not even in the one moment, but just generally that it was two people. There's no two Michael Myers. There's no two Jason Voorhees. Like, how many other mass killers do we have where it's two individuals?
Are we talking about the other Scream movies as well, or
no? It feels like it's exclusive to the Scream franchise.
Yeah. So any other killer reveals, unmasking, not to compare to this. Can't think of any.
No, I can't think of any either. Now,
and furthermore, which do you like more, a Ghostface reveal with the unmasking, or a Ghostface reveal with an action or an act the killer is doing something?
I don't know. I don't know.
Mickey Madison did it interesting enough where she said, yeah, it's me. She pulls out a gun quick and blows your one's head off.
I think I like the reveal. I like to pull the mask off.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I think my favourite is probably maybe Scream 2. Because
I gotta be honest, I kind of like Scream 6. I kind of like the fact that there were 3 ghost faces.
Oh, I like that because we've never had 3 before.
Yeah.
And now it's time to spice it up again, but we're not going to go down that route.
No, but can you tell people what your idea was?
What?
For having a reveal.
I'm not done talking about the the kitchen scene.
Teasing again, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I just want to, it's
the whole motivation with Billy Loomis and Stu Macher, his motivation, and
it's thin. I'll be honest.
It's thin?
It's thin.
Have you seen the rest of the Ghostface motivations and why they're killers? It's all stupid, pouchy patheticness.
Yeah.
The only plausible, realistic, believable one was the Scream 2 killers. And Scream.
They were getting revenge for
They were getting revenge. They were motivated because they were psychopaths before meeting any of the characters. Once you get into Scream 4, 5... I'll exclude Scream 6 because they had good reasons for their motivations. But all the Ghostface motivations were hinged upon the fact that they are devoted horror movie fans and stab movie fans. And like, Billy Loomis, motivated because Sidney's mother screwed his father and Billy's mother left him. Not as bad as Sidney's mother being murdered for it, but still, I guess, bad enough for him. Because Billy's mother is still alive in the world. A breadcrumb we did not realise was dropped. Probably at the time. And the whole Cotton Weary aspect. Did they know they cast Leo Schreiber for that? I really need to know that.
That's a great little... It's a breadcrumb that is introduced in the first movie that probably was never going to be looked upon later on.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, but we have this thread. We can continue this later down the line. And aren't they so glad? You're right. Aren't they so glad that it was Liev Schreiber? It's like, oh, we have a great actor here.
A man who actually does command screen of authority better than any of the other characters. Like, you watch... Sorry, I nearly talk about Scream 2 because of this alone. But, like, Cotton Weary is a sight for sore eyes, the thing I'm looking for. Because of all the hardship you've endured. Delighted to see something that you might be able to rely on. You know? Even though you shouldn't be surprised if he has a bit of a gripe to deal with you.
Yeah.
But the Stu Mocker motivation, peer pressure. I'm easily sensitive. He gets interrupted.
See, the thing is that with a lot of Ghostface reveals, as soon as they reveal as Ghostface, it kind of feels like everyone does their best Joker impression. And I'm taking that directly from the boys at Another Happy Pod, and if they have a problem with that, they can sue us. But we're in the same network, so they'll only be suing themselves. But I think that's a great point, is that, I think Stu gets away with it. I know you said this as well when we were off air, but Stu gets away with it because he's giving a kind of toned down version of that the entire time, and then it just goes up to 90 in the reveal. And then in all of the other movies, everyone is giving their best Stu Mocker impression.
That's what I wouldn't call it a Joker impression. I would call it a Stu Mocker impression because of the craziness, the unhingedness.
The only thing that bothers me is as soon as they reveal, they become stupid. They become idiots.
Well,
we're going to stab each other, and we're going to be the ones to survive. How about this, boys? Kill Sydney first, and kill her dad. Get that bit all sorted out, and then you guys can stab each other. Like, there's just no point in them stabbing each other with the two victims still alive. They're only hindering themselves for later on. They're just putting themselves at the disadvantage for the later fight that Sydney is going to have.
They are kids at the end of the day.
Yeah, but they've been so competent this entire time.
Have they?
That, well, nobody has suspected them. The only person that has been
it's 1996, caveman days.
The only person that's been suspected is Billy Loomis. And how does he get out of that? Oh, guess what? There's a second killer. So, that's not something that the cops thought about. Is like, oh, there's two killers. No, we just got the wrong guy. So they let him out. But Stu Mocker is never a suspect, really. I think that they... Regardless
of how obvious it is throughout the entirety of the movie.
And I think that they are clever. They are going about this in the right way. If they hadn't have been stupid in that moment and started stabbing each other, if they just got the job done... I know it's a movie. There are certain tropes, and you're going to have the villains monologuing and explaining everything, and here's my motivations. Here's why I'm doing this. Wah, ha, ha, ha. But if they had just been a bit more clever, they would have gotten away with it. Now, Gail would have come in. Absolutely. She still would have entered the scene.
Yeah.
But
then what's the point?
But the two boys wouldn't have been hindered by stab wounds and stuff like that. Like, they were like almost not, at some points they weren't on the same wavelength, where like, he was one was stabbing the other, and he's like, oh, that was too deep, and he's like, give me the knife, I want to stab you back. And it's like, I want to get back at you. And it's like, what are you doing, boys? Come on, like, we're a well-oiled machine right up until now.
That doesn't bother me.
Well, it doesn't bother me either.
You just said it did.
No, it doesn't bother me. I'm just saying, it's one of those things that you could say it bothers you.
Okay. Well, no, fair enough. That's a good point. I like Sydney's father. I don't know why.
Okay, yeah, that's a strange pull, because I don't think there's anything to him other than it's Sydney's father.
Yeah, I don't know. Where's that?
You can't help what you like, yeah. No, I'm not going to argue on it.
But, like, I don't know. I think because he's a thread of her getting to live her life beyond this ordeal. Do you know what I mean? I just think, I don't know. I like it. I think in the hands of another director, they just would have killed him off for the sake of killing him off.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And I think it's a nice delight to see him crash through the closet again after everyone was dispatched.
I like the fact that Sydney comes through wearing the Ghostface outfit.
Yeah, she took the time to throw the thing on as well. Like, she didn't have to. She even had I suppose she saved her father, hid him, and she had the little walkie, and she called the police. And Billy gets really tick looking to find her. And he's just cutting up pillows and cushions. Rather than continuing to smash up, houseware, he deliberately puts in effort inventing and cutting up pillows, and he feathers all over him. I wonder if he was directed to do that.
Yeah, is that
is that him taking on the spot?
Yeah, is that Billy or is that Skeet Ulrich? Yeah.
Yeah. And Billy Stu starts to. Oh,
I think I'm bleeding out, man. I think I'm really bad.
I'm a little woozy here. Oh yeah, it's very good.
That maybe, you know what? I'd say probably that, like, some of those line deliveries are fully like Shaggy from Scooby Doo. Like, he's like, Matthew Lillard is like, someone saw him do that and it's like, you know what? You play a good Shaggy.
He would play a good Shaggy.
No, man.
But all of a sudden he regains a lot of energy to attack Sydney again.
He got the adrenaline pumping through his veins. Yeah.
TV smash to the face was a nice touch. Yeah. That was nice.
That's again one of those kind of comedic kills almost.
Yeah, saved for the comedic kind of goofy villain
of the two. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it fully, I suppose, I can see, like you were saying there earlier, the seed is planted in later movies that Stu Macher is still alive. You go back and watch it like this, it's like, I can see that. Yeah, I could see him surviving that.
Yeah. It's only planted because someone else thought about it, and it made its way through the internet. Other than that, all my life he's dead. And that's the way it's always been. Stu Macher was not even an afterthought until this franchise was resurrected back to life and popularity.
It was all the focus is on Billy Loomis and his legacy. But Stu Macher left out in the dark, really.
Yeah, pretty much. And he was saved off for the more serious, dramatic kill. And Gale saves Sydney by shooting him. And that was an interesting way he succumbs to his wound and just he's gasping for air, and he just kind of crawls backwards until
it's an unceremonious death. Yeah, what he deserves.
Yeah, and then he comes to it again after Randy comes to, and that's great. Another survivor and back for another scare.
Final scare.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then bullet to the head. Cool. And then they play that cool song. Which
is that the Red Right Hand one? Is that?
No.
That's earlier on. You know what? It's funny going back or not going back, but when I watched these originally a couple of years ago, that song is that not the theme song from Peaky Blinders?
It is.
Yeah. So I've not seen Peaky Blinders, but I know that was the theme song. So whenever I hear that song, I think Peaky Blinders.
I think it's interchangeable at this point.
Yeah, I was just curious for someone who grew up on that, that when you watch Peaky Blinders, you go, "Oh, that's the song from Scream," or vice versa.
I would have paid more attention to the song when watching Peaky Blinders, whereas it would have been more subconsciously in my brain for Scream. Since the franchise has been brought back to popularity, it's a given. The song that Nick Cave song has to be in a Scream movie, like an opening crawl has to be in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
That's what it is at this point. Other than that, if there's nothing else to say, I think that's it.
Yeah. You're going to tell us, though, your idea for Ghostface in a potential sequel.
Oh, Jesus. Do you want me to pitch it?
I could pitch it for you if you want. I thought it was a great idea.
If you, by all means, take the lead.
Brian had the idea of, first of all, there being two Ghostfaces, but they're separate from each other. That they're not in connection with each other.
They're not in cahoots.
They're just both. It just so happens that two Ghostfaces start killing people at the same time, and
with different motivations for one another.
And they would at some point. A character would be facing down a Ghostface, and then a second Ghostface appears, and the two Ghostfaces are fighting, and then we find out later on they have completely different motivations or something like that. I thought that's a great idea. I'm surprised they haven't done that, where multiple Ghostfaces turn up at the same time.
Yeah, if you want to spice that up, and then all of a sudden we have a duel between two Ghostface killers.
I think it's a really good idea, and it was something that when you said it, I was like, that makes perfect sense. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
I'm ready for my fee. You can contact us on this podcast here.
Have you got a recommendation then before we let these people go?
A few, actually.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. I recommend Another Happy Pod. Their episode on any of their Scream episodes, but most particularly Scream 1 and Scream 4. I thought they were the funniest recordings.
Awesome.
The funniest conversations I've heard them have. Just because it was brought up, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo's a good one. Any iteration?
The Matthew Lillard and the boy from
Freddie Prinze Jr.
That's him. Yeah.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
What connections do we have? Honestly, it's great.
Those two guys are in.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is in Scream 2.
And she's in I Know What You Did Last Summer, well as Freddie Prinze Jr.
Jesus Christ, lad! What are we like here?
And Linda Cardellini.
She's an actress.
She's an actress. She appears in Scooby-Doo.
So maybe Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, because I think it's better than the first one.
Whoa, controversial.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think the first one's better?
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation about it off screen. Maybe let's record it anyway. Before we actually talk about it next week's episode. I'm also going to recommend Scary Movie 1 and 2.
Wow, you coming in a lot of recommendations this week.
I'm in a mood.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I got my sleep from last week.
Oh, you got your sleep. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
What are you going to recommend?
I'm going to recommend the Scrubs reboot.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes, and I have to say, it was freaking fantastic.
Was it?
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. It did what I think all reboots should do.
What's that?
It feels just like a new season. We're just continuing. It's like we took a pause after season 8, and we press play again here 15 years later. Like, characters are reintroduced, but it's not like this big, oh, here comes the character, this big moment. It's just, oh yeah, this character's in this scene.
Yeah.
It feels like an episode of Scrubs. It released with the first 2 episodes. They recreated the set. It just looks like it's an updated version of the set, like 15 years later. And all the characters feel exactly like their characters. Like no one is missing a beat.
I've never watched Scrubs.
Oh, really? Wow.
Never.
Well, it's up there.
Nice.
Brian, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Talking Pictures Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app of choice. Like we said at the top of the show, we have new episodes every single Wednesday, so to never miss an episode, make sure that you're following us on all of your social medias. They're, as always, down in the links below. We also have another podcast, which is Saturday Morning Cartoon Club, which releases a new episode on the last Saturday of every month. Like we said there as well at the top of the show, we had an episode on Jimmy Neutron. It released last weekend. And then we have Ed, and Eddie coming at the end of March. So make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to that feed to never miss an episode of that. This podcast is brought to you by Another Happy Studios, so make sure to check out all the other podcasts in our network. Brian, have you got any final words before we let these people go?
I'm good.
Saoirse done Palestine.